Earlier this month, a line was crossed in our already chaotic digital public square. A racist video, generated by artificial intelligence, was shared from former President Donald Trump's social media account. The clip depicted former President Barack Obama, former First Lady Michelle Obama, as apes. This act ignited immediate and widespread outrage. The video itself was brief, tacked onto the end of a much longer clip that promoted conspiracy theories about the 2020 election. But its impact was profound, using old, ugly, racist tropes supercharged by new technology to attack the first black president and first lady in American history, and doing so during Black History Month. The incident was a stark demonstration of how easily AI tools can be weaponized to spread hate. The response from the targets of this attack was measured but firm. In an interview, Barack Obama addressed the incident, stating that a majority of Americans find this behavior deeply troubling. He pointed to a broader decay in public standards, noting a lack of shame among people who once felt a need for decorum and respect for high office. Obama described the noise surrounding modern politics as a clown show. His words did not just condemn a single post, they highlighted a systemic erosion of dignity in public discourse, an erosion now being accelerated by powerful and accessible AI tools that can manufacture reality itself. The handling of the incident by the Trump campaign only added to the sense of chaos and irresponsibility. Initially, the White House press secretary dismissed the backlash as fake outrage. Later, after the post was deleted, the campaign attempted to blame an unnamed staff member for sharing it erroneously. This narrative was then contradicted by Trump himself, who told reporters he didn't make a mistake and had merely passed the video to an aide to post. This sequence of denial, blame shifting, and defiance showcased a profound lack of accountability, leaving the public with a chilling example of how malicious content can be injected into the political bloodstream with few immediate consequences for its distributors. This event was more than a fleeting social media controversy. It was a watershed moment. It served as a loud, clear alarm bell, signaling that the theoretical dangers of AI-generated misinformation are now a practical and present threat. The video of the Obamas was not a sophisticated piece of Hollywood special effects. It was a crude but effective piece of propaganda, likely created with easily accessible tools. Its power came not from its technical perfection but from its ability to tap into and amplify existing prejudices, spreading a hateful message at the speed of the internet. The racist video targeting the Obamas was created using generative AI, a technology that has become alarmingly simple to use. The fundamental process involves training an AI model on a vast number of images of a person's face. Once the model learns the unique features and expressions, it can convincingly superimpose that face onto a different person, a technique commonly known as a deepfake. What once required specialized expertise and significant computing power can now be done with one-click mobile apps and web services. This democratization means anyone with a smartphone and malicious intent can become a purveyor of disinformation, lowering the bar to practically zero. The most immediate danger is the corrosive effect on public trust. Experts call it truth decay. A world where it's hard to tell real from fabricated. Synthetic audio, synthetic video become indistinguishable from authentic recordings. That erodes confidence in legitimate news sources, official communications, and even people's own eyes and ears. While high-profile political deepfakes capture headlines, the weaponization of generative AI is inflicting devastating harm on private individuals, often far from the public eye. One of the most horrifying applications is the creation of non-consensual sexual imagery, or deepfake pornography. The technology to generate this content has become commoditized, moving from the dark corners of the web to simple mobile apps. A 2026 report reveals that an estimated 15% of adults in the UK have already encountered such material, a figure that has tripled since 2024. This form of abuse is used for harassment, extortion, humiliation, causing profound and lasting psychological trauma to victims whose likenesses are stolen and manipulated without their consent. The threat extends alarmingly to the most vulnerable among us, children. A recent UN report warns of escalating AI threats, where offenders generate explicit fake images of real children to drive a new and terrifying form of sexual extortion. Predators are also using AI to analyze a child's online behavior, emotional state, personal interests to craft highly personalized and effective grooming strategies. The data shows a frightening trend. One Child Safety Institute found that technology-facilitated child abuse cases in the U.S. skyrocketed from 4,700 in 2023 to more than 67,000 in 2024. In response to the rising tide of synthetic media, a new field has emerged: AI image and video detection. The goal is to create tools that can automatically analyze media and decide if it was generated or manipulated by AI. In theory, these detectors are a crucial line of defense. Social platforms could flag or remove deepfakes before they go viral. Law enforcement could use them for forensic analysis of visual evidence. For a society struggling with truth decay, detection seems like a technological silver bullet. However, the reality is far more complicated. The development of deepfakes and detection tools is a classic cat-and-mouse game. It's an escalating arms race, each side trying to outmaneuver the other. Detectors learn to spot telltale artifacts of one AI generation: unnatural blinking patterns, weird background distortions, strange physical inconsistencies. Then a new, more advanced generation of models is released that avoids those mistakes. Highly refined deepfakes can already evade many commercial detectors. Detection tools are far from perfect and have their own problems. One major issue is false positives: real images or videos incorrectly flagged as AI generated. Example: a journalist's legitimate photo gets dismissed as fake. Conversely, false negatives, deepfakes that slip past detectors, can give malicious content a false stamp of authenticity. An imperfect detector can create more confusion than clarity, eroding public trust. This arms race highlights a fundamental asymmetry. The core of our AI safety problem is a vast and widening gap between the exponential pace of technological advancement and the slow, linear progress of governance. The 2026 International AI Safety Report makes this point with stark clarity. Global summits like the one held at Bletchley Park have successfully initiated a worldwide conversation about AI risks, but the implementation of concrete binding policies has failed to keep pace. We are living in an era where the capabilities of AI models are doubling every few months, but the legislative process to regulate them takes years. This mismatch means we are perpetually playing catch-up, trying to solve yesterday's problems while tech companies are busy inventing tomorrow's. A major part of the problem lies in a systemic lack of AI literacy among those in positions of power. A recent UN statement identified a critical deficit of technical training for policymakers and governments: AI frameworks, data protection methods, child rights impact assessments. Lawmakers are being asked to regulate a technology they barely understand, making it difficult to craft effective and future-proof legislation. This knowledge gap is often exploited by tech companies, who can argue for self-regulation and voluntary commitments, framing the technology as too complex for external oversight. While these voluntary pledges are helpful, the 2026 report concludes they are no longer sufficient to address the scale of the threat. This governance gap is evident in the patchwork of laws that currently exist. Some jurisdictions have begun to pass laws requiring the labeling of AI-generated political ads, criminalizing the creation of deepfake pornography. But there is no international consensus, no binding treaty that sets a global standard for safety. This allows bad actors to operate from jurisdictions with lax regulations, and it creates confusion for multinational technology companies trying to navigate a complex web of different rules. In a world where we can no longer instinctively trust what we see and hear online, we will be forced to reintroduce older, more tangible methods of building trust. As deepfakes make real-time impersonation trivial, organizations will have to adapt their security protocols. High-stakes decisions, such as major financial transfers or strategic shifts, may increasingly require in-person meetings. The simple act of being physically present will regain its status as a powerful verification tool. We may also see the return of low-tech solutions like safe words or pre-agreed-upon challenge questions to verify identity over a phone or video call, a throwback to Cold War-era spycraft adapted for the corporate boardroom. This shift will require a fundamental re-evaluation of our communication habits. For years, the trend has been toward frictionless, remote interaction. The rise of deepfakes reverses this logic. Friction, extra verification steps, in-person requirements, a healthy dose of skepticism will become a feature, not a bug. Small businesses are particularly vulnerable to AI-powered social engineering attacks like fake invoices. They will need to lean heavily on automation and identity-driven controls. Use AI-powered security systems to analyze communication patterns and flag anomalies, turning the attacker's weapon into a defender's shield. Beyond corporate security, equip the general public with skills and tools. Start with a massive push for media literacy and AI literacy in schools. Teach children how AI models work, how to critically evaluate online content. The racist AI video of the Obamas was a clear warning. It demonstrated the power of generative AI to inflict harm, to spread hate, to erode the foundations of a truth-based society. Allowing this technology to proliferate without guardrails is not an option. We are at a critical juncture. The path we choose now will determine whether AI is a tool for progress or a weapon of chaos. Inaction is a choice, and it's the wrong one. We must act decisively. We must act together. We must act now. The stakes are too high to wait. First, technology companies must take more responsibility. Design safety into systems from the start. Build robust detection tools. Integrate clear, unremovable labels and watermarks on synthetic media. Restrict access to the most powerful models. Require identity verification for users. Establish rapid response teams to support victims. The era of voluntary, unenforceable commitments is over. Real safety features must be a condition of market access. Second, governments must step up and govern. Pass smart, effective legislation. Criminalize creation and distribution of malicious deepfakes.